universal credit? Do you get anything?
No, okay, so when I say no income, I'm being a little bit, I'm a tour guide, so of course my calendar emptied in March. I've been creative and taking my tours online. I've been doing virtual tours.
Okay.
What I brought in, income-wise, has been, I would estimate, about 7 to 8% of what I normally make in a year.
Lord.
So I am, I'm just about keeping my head above water, but I mean, it is literally just about.
And are you eligible? If you weren't doing that, would you be eligible for universal credit, or? No,
because I have too much in savings, because I've got savings for tax. Right. Which I am busy working through.
Yes.
And, this is it's a kind of, the Chancellor says everybody has been helped in some way, and if they haven't got the SEISS, then it's been helped in other ways. The only thing I've had is a 3-month mortgage holiday, and when that ended, my mortgage payments went up, of course.
Yes.
So, I mean, literally, I've had nothing. I don't qualify for universal credit because I've got money, I've got a little bit of life savings, plus because I'm self-employed, we have to save for tax, and that takes me over the threshold.
Oh,
I've been using that to live on, so when the tax bill comes around, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I've been campaigning with ExcludedUK for months now, and it's at the point now where I can't really afford to put my heating on properly. I don't understand why they are being completely blind to our plight. I mean,
do you have a theory?
I do have a theory.
Can I hear it?
Because I was listening to your previous caller, and I honestly think that they decided when they brought the rules out. Now, of course, when you bring things in quickly, there are always going to be loopholes, which you then go back and close. But I think they put a plan in to help the minimum number of people that they could to get away with it before people. I think they honestly thought that self-employed people, because we're all individuals, we then wouldn't have a central block to come together. If you excluded businesses, well, then you've got big businesses who have got loads of people and they can make lots of noise. And I think they thought that self-employed people, sole traders, small business owners who, it's just a one-man band or a couple of people, don't have the might behind them. And I have to say that in a way it's been true, but it's not true, because we've come together and, given that we are the risk takers.
So they underestimated you then, or they underestimated your ability to collectivise, to
completely.
behave
But I have to say, I belong as a tour guide. I belong to one of the unions,
right?
And they have been shouting a lot for the people who are employed within our industry, but not for us self-employed. And as a tour guide, I'm a qualified blue badge tour guide in London, and 40% of all tour guides have been excluded from government help. We are all individual sole traders, because that is the industry. And
but that would work. I don't want to pick holes in your theory, but I would like to end this hour with at least a glimmer of understanding of what they might think they're up to, because that would hold for lockdown 1, but by lockdown 2 they could see that you were organising on a national level, and that's where I just don't understand it, because we have been so vocal and we have been campaigning, and I can't actually believe the amount. We've got hundreds of MPs on side. We have Martin Lewis. We've got celebrities. We've got people like you talking out. All the radio stations are talking, and the press are talking, and I don't know what it is. I think it's just their saving face. Well, I think it's also because you have a genuine plight and a genuine grievance, and we are currently inhabiting a country where significant swathes of the population can be brought to the brink of armed revolution by a dance troupe on Britain's Got Talent, but 3 million entrepreneurs and business people who are essentially being shafted by central government don't merit a whisper from a lot of...
And they're calling us fraudulent as well. They're saying the reason we're not being helped is due to the mitigation of fraud. Well, let me tell you, the reason I'm excluded is because I'm a sole trader. I earned £2,000 over their arbitrary cap. Now, that might sound really good.
Yeah.
I'm single. I started my career 5 years ago, and I worked really hard to get a reputation, which I've now got. But my income went practically to zero.
Have you thought of bumping into Matt Hancock in a pub and then offering to supply the NHS with vials?
Well, if only the pubs were open, I could do that. Yeah, I would love to.
That's a very good point. There's a slight fly in the ointment of my theory.
I'm not his friend, so I wouldn't get the contract. So it wouldn't matter.
You could say that. I couldn't possibly comment. Well, I don't. I mean, we'll try. I'll carry on banging the drum, but I find myself, and this is probably part of my personality rather than necessarily what you would want my priorities to be. But I do find myself baffled. Maybe the calculation was that you could afford to get through this. And in a sense, in your case, albeit that you're now worried about putting the heating on, in a sense you could, because you had savings. But again, that politically makes very little sense to me, because This is the party historically of business, whether you like it or not. That is the perception.